So this episode, it was my choice, and I chose Inside. So that was developed by Playdead, and it came out in 2016. So just as a bit of sort of like
long ago.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's quite old. Yeah.
I didn't think it was old.
I think most people have heard of the game Limbo, which was Playdead's first game, or at least first game like this. And Inside is very, very similar to Limbo. But if you've not played that, it's a 2D side-scrolling sort of puzzle game, basically, with a very distinct sort of art style. Not very long, but that's sort of the game they make. And yeah, I mean, I'll sort of jump in.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was exactly what I wanted it to be. I really loved Limbo for exactly what it was trying to do. And I found Inside exactly the same. Top level thoughts, anyone else?
It's given me a creeping dread of dogs and the water.
Yeah,
I definitely get that.
Yeah.
I'd never played Limbo, so this is my first like forte in this sort of thing. I think I generally enjoyed it. I don't know if it's convinced me to go back and play Limbo.
No. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. That's your top levels. What about you, Ben? Top levels?
Overall, I didn't like it.
This is the first one you've not liked, Ben.
I
didn't have chores.
I like puzzlers.
Yeah,
I enjoy puzzlers. That's Resident Evil deep in the heart, isn't it? You know, there's always a puzzle. So I enjoy doing that kind of thing. I think the world was well made. I like the way scenes moved along. The basics of it was I didn't like the fact it was very concentration campy and it was a 10-year-old kid. And I think that's what put me off it overall. Yeah.
Okay. I like the themes.
It made me think of
You're a child
Half-Life
killer.
a little bit at the beginning with the destroyed city and people getting controlled.
It was very dark, but I liked that because, I thought, and I know what you mean. There was some sort of unnerving part, especially when you die. It can be a bit like, oh, that's kind of quite brutal.
100%. Like,
but I thought that added to the theme.
The dogs, it always made me feel uneasy when the dog got you.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
the arm flies off.
Yes.
Breaks your neck. And and I definitely get what Ben's saying because you are a 10-year-old kid at the end of the day.
And the music was very eerie as well when it happened.
When the dog gets you, you're like, oh, I don't know.
It would have absolutely changed the game for me if it had been a character, I don't know, an adult, Abe from Abe's Odyssey. But you know what I'm getting at? Like, that would have completely changed the game to me.
Yeah,
I feel like that helps it hit home with how tense the whole situation.
I do know what you're saying. I do know where they're coming from.
Yeah. I thought it really added to that atmosphere because you were a 10-year-old kid on the run who couldn't really do much.
You really don't want to be in the place that you're in. I've got to keep moving.
You don't have the ability to really do anything. It reminds me a bit of like Little Nightmares if you played that, where you play as a child and you're going through this creepy place where people are trying to capture you. It's very similar.
Is that where you're like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids small and everyone else is huge?
Yes. Yeah. It's very exaggerated, but it's the same sort of thing. I think you're playing as a child and everyone else is huge, sort of horrible adult monsters.
It definitely does have a very, it gets the dread. I know what you're saying, Joe. Like the music and just the themes in general and everything that's going on. It really gets you nervy. There was this bit where these dogs are like, you have to keep climbing this fence and then pulling off a panel.
One plank at a time,
Yeah, and you have to keep climbing over the fence so the dogs don't get you. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to pull this last one off before the dogs get me?
Yeah, it was really dense. I think I've got a note here that says it tells a lot of story with no words. And
it's got a great narrative ghost.
And I think it sort of like, it just clicked then when Ben said about all the scenes it creates. It's almost like a roller coaster. You know, like one of those where you're sitting like, sort of like just go through a bunch of scenes and that's the roller coaster. It was kind of like that. Every scene is so distinct from the last, but also cohesive. And it just tells such a good sort of like story. Like, you know exactly what the character is doing, even though he didn't say anything. You know exactly where it goes, even when it ends. And I'm sure we'll get onto the ending.
Are we talking spoilers? That's also a question.
I'd say
it's 16, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite old. And to be honest, I knew how it ended beforehand anyway. I'd seen enough spoilers.
Oh, I didn't.
Did you know about the secret ending?
Secret ending?
Oh, we'll get to that at the end. I'll tell you what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. But I just felt like it told that story really well. And I think because of how brutal it was, because of how sort of trial and error some of the puzzles were, although it could be frustrating, it really added to that.
See,
I love that there's like no instruction, this button does this.
Yeah.
There's
there's barely any buttons.
And a lot of it is contextual as well. So it's not like one button press can be wrong for something else. It's like there's only 2 buttons you can press.
And most of the time it was pretty obvious what you were gonna do, what you had to set up. There was a few times when it wasn't.
Oh, you have to go backtrack and get a box that you didn't realize you could move from ages back.
Yeah. There was a few times
to me a couple times.
that, but
so I think, when it comes to the puzzles, I'm again a bit on the fence with it. I think I really love the fact it doesn't tell you anything. Some of it like made me think, oh my god, that's really well done. Like there's a ladder, let's say, propped up against the left side of the screen, and you can grab it and pull it so it hangs over to the right side of the screen. That's a very early puzzle, but I really like that sort of aspect to it. Don't like the box thing when you're running past the box and you're like, oh, I might need that in a bit. Some of the puzzles I think are a bit obtuse.
Like the one with the earthquake device that would turn you into atomized particles.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah.
Destroyed you. Yeah, that was quite difficult. That was quite a timing puzzle, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, I didn't realize that shield could move again once you'd stopped it.
I think I figured all that out. I just couldn't get the timing right because you had to hold something for a certain amount of time, let go, and then move.
Yeah, and go when it starts moving.
Yeah, and I always slid at the wrong time.
There was 2 big ones for me. There was one where in the background there was 2 like guys you had to control to like stand on these 2 platforms, like buttons to open the door.
Oh, the pressure plates, yeah.
I just could not figure that out. But then like I just kept trying different things, and then I must have tried like the most simple like approach and opened, and I thought, like, why? Yeah. And then there was one where you're hanging from a chain and you've got to dangle your feet
dip your toe in. Yeah.
Oh, for that mermaid creature.
Yeah, to come to you. Because that took me ages. That was the only thing I had to Google to find out.
Were you trying to use the speed of the chain as a momentum to swing it? Because that's what I started trying to do. Yeah,
100%. I was doing the same. I was thinking, I must have to go back. Because she's all the way over there. If I go back, I'll be able to make it back to something I haven't seen. But no, yeah.
My puzzle that I struggled with was the last few brain deads in a hanging cage where you had to jump to it to pull it down.
I think I remember the one.
Is that where you had to get like 20 of them to like?
Yeah, you had to get 20 of them all together.
Oh, in the mine,
the last few that I just, because obviously the thing that you pull that catapults you up wasn't high enough to reach the handle to pull the cage down, and that was the only one I googled. But the rest of them came quite easily to me.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like a puzzler, so I would look
actually
outside the box
most
straight
of
away.
This on the plane when I was going to and from America, so I couldn't Google anything. But
that's commitment.
I figured it out all myself. But there was a few times when I was sort of getting a bit frustrated, but I got there. I think my hours came in at like 3 hours, so it didn't take that
overall.
long.
You completed it a lot faster than I did.
Yeah. I'm sure it was like about 3 hours.
Overall, I think the puzzling was really good. Don't get me wrong. Just there was a couple that was a bit like that could have been better. It could have been telegraphed a bit better.
That's fair enough.
I think what they need is like more environment context clue. Like like in the Mirror's Edge world, a yellow wall is something you wall run on.
Yes,
like the boxes that you need to use could have had a color.
Yeah, but will that maybe have taken away from the vibe a bit? Because the whole vibe is it doesn't tell you anything. Like it doesn't even tell you buttons to press. So
there was one time where you get in a lift and it gets disconnected by that seismic event and you fall into the water. I was stuck in that loop for so long because I didn't realize there was a handle on the inside of the door to lift up.
Yeah,
and most of the time those handles have been red, and this time it wasn't, or it was just too dark to see that it was red.
I think it was a design choice, but I know what you mean. Maybe they could have put an option in as well. Puzzle difficulty sort of thing, and then if you put it on easy, maybe
raise vibrance.
But the sounds of the world, creepy.
Well, I want to talk about.
I may have made the mistake of playing this at night both days that I'd played this.
It's quite
with the sound
creepy.
system on.
Yeah. Well, I just want to talk briefly about like the graphics of it. I think, graphically, or at least more art direction wise, I thought it was really, really nice. Especially it's an old game, so it's not like
that's why I was so surprised when you said 2016. I was like, okay.
But it really nails home.
It does well with the depth. The depth of the world, how things move in the background to join the foreground. Now that's always a challenge, I think, in things.
And the animation of like your character, the way he moves and he sort of feels so fluid, and all the animation.
He reacts to the environment like a twig. You'll stumble over it, you won't slow down, but he'll notice it and look back.
Yes. Yeah, like when you're running and stuff and you're sort of like tripping, I thought that was like really clever.
He chooses to speed up because he knows there's pressure on.
Yeah, I wish there was a button for that, to be fair. Get away from those blooming dogs.
Yeah. Oh, they were horrible.
It was the mermaid ones that I heard.
Oh, the little hiss that it makes when it's close to you.
Like, But all then going on to the sound design, there's like, I would say no music. There's like almost like a hum in the background all the way through.
It's like a tone.
Yeah, and that sort of creates such an ambience. And then all the sounds of like the villains, let's say, the dogs, the characters who would shout at you in the background when they shine the flashlight on you, and the mermaid creature thing.
Yeah.
Or when you fall through the floor, that got me every time.
It's like all those sounds then hit so much harder because there's not really anything else. And that hum escalates, doesn't it? As things like get close to you and as you're about to die, and it's really unsettling.
And sometimes it'll do it when there's nothing happening, and that's when you really get tense.
Yeah.
What am I preparing for here?
Exactly. I wouldn't say it was a scary game, but it's definitely unnerving.
Definitely.
Disturbing.
Yeah, disturbing's the word, I think. I really like that. Just to go back to the puzzles, I really like that puzzle where you're in a line of the like.
And you think you're doing it well.
You have to do what they do.
You think you're doing so well, and then you step outside of the box and still jump, and then the thing gets you.
Yeah, it went on a little bit too long, that one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Checkpointing. I mean, there's good checkpointing all the way through. You never felt like you had to redo too much.
I agree with the checkpointing. Yeah, it was great because a lot of the time, some of the puzzles were, this dog. You're like, can I outrun this dog? Yes, so you just keep going.
You have to just try, don't you?
Yeah, so you try the first time, but then like obviously you can't outrun the dog, so you have to find another way.
There's one of those quite early on where there's like some guys with flashlights in the background.
Yes,
and I think he has to spot you.
Yeah,
and then you do something. I can't remember.
You have to wait till he's letting the dog off the lead.
Do the right pause.
Yeah. So I tested that a few times running, but.
That lineup thing, I found that a little frustrating because I am rubbish at the God of War dance mat. No, I'm rubbish at the like stepping in the right place at
that's
the right time.
That's what you were on about, the dance mat.
I think that's the one bit that had music, so you could time yourself to their walking.
I could do the jump. I could do that. I overstepped every time I walked with them, so I tried to run back, and then obviously I'm not doing the same as everybody else.
If you overstep too much,
I was going to say it gives you a bit of leeway because I think.
But that was the bit that took me a while to work out. It didn't matter if I took half a step more than everybody else. But I'm trying to correct it.
Yeah, definitely.
What did everyone think to the length of the game?
I didn't think it needed to be any longer. I know it's short.
Agreed.
It'd have gone on way too long if it was
perfectly long, not short.
Yeah,
I think the climax could have been slightly shorter.
Do you think?
You know where
I know what you mean.
You become an amalgamation.
Yeah, so let's jump on that sort of quickly then, just so it makes sense to the listeners. Sort of all the way through the game, there's the odd puzzle where you put on this little hat and you control some of the workers. Everyone's basically you're in this like facility, aren't you? And everyone's like brain dead workers that are just being controlled. So you've obviously broken free and you put these little like hats on, you can control them to help. And then at the end, there's what can only be described as like an amalgamation of loads of bodies like in a ball. So it's just like a ball of flesh with like arms and legs and stuff like sticking out of it.
Gives the impression it's an experiment in a tank.
Yeah. It's very like Akira or No Face from Spirited Away. When he starts losing control.
Very much,
yeah.
Or the Rat King in Last of Us Part 2.
But it's going to squeeze Last of Us in.
Yeah. But you basically, as you're escaping, you become part of this. I can't remember how it happens. You put on another hat.
You
pull hats out of it and then you get sucked into it.
Yes.
You end up setting it free, and as you set it free, it
sucks you in. And then at that point, you're taking control of this big like mass of like bodies that just sort of like destroys everything, and it like moans as you're doing it.
It's like constantly going.
And it's unsettling, but it's like.
But you can use like 8 legs at once because they're all first in the floor
and walls, and like
it's just such a blob.
I think you do sort of probably hit a few of the sort of
the employees
who have been sort of like.
I know you kill one of them because you fall on one of them.
Oh yeah, you push them through a window.
Yeah.
I did think that the more people you ran over, you would grow, like in size, like
I
a
thought
category
like
sort of thing.
Yeah.
You didn't even lose size when you fell a long way either, did you?
No.
Because there was some big drop-offs and there was
Yeah.
I was
like
expecting
limbs.
that to happen, and then you gain boy form back or something. But
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that could have been quite cool, but it was quite nice. It was quite, let's say, rewarding. Destroying all of this
did change the game
facility.
so much.
Yeah. Did you like that ending then?
I thought, I mean, it was the most obtuse thing I've ever seen in my life, but I just did not know what the hell was going on. I thought it was a bit breaky when you got to the point where you could breathe underwater, and I'm like, now I see why they've done it, because there was a big underwater section that you needed to swim in and stuff like that, and that changed the world quite well. And I thought, okay, now I see it, and I think that's quite good. But I just did not see that coming at all.
No,
and I think that was a tipping point of me liking it a bit more. But it's still not, because
when that creature gets you, I was like, oh god, not again. I was like, oh, but wait, I'm not dying. What's happening?
It was slightly less real.
What were you going to say then before, Joe, about the ending? Now that we've sort of explained it, were you going to say it dragged out a bit?
Just the going through the facility as the ball, I think.
There was a few puzzles, wasn't there?
3 of the rooms seemed very the same, whereas you're just crashing through a load of buildings.
Yeah.
And then you go the other direction and crash through a load of more buildings, and then you do it a third time. It's like, so is this just me doing this till the end of the game? But no, there are more puzzles.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I suppose it's showing you destroying everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I did like that some of the people in the facility
would help you. I was just about to say the same thing.
But I don't know if that's you mind controlling them to help you because you can't do it yourself, or if they are genuinely trying to help you.
I think they're scared of you and they want to get you out.
Get rid of you.
Yeah, because there was one where I was like, well, I can't get through this door. And I didn't realize you had to go and hide in the shadows until the guy with the hard hat opened the door. Because he was too scared to do it while you were there.
Yes. Yeah. He sort of, if you came out, he ran away, didn't he? Yeah.
Or did the guys that weren't in danger think or feel sorry for you? Because
possibly.
It could have gone always, because at the end of the day, they've just minced a lot of people up and made a big old ball. Like, oh God, it's real. It's alive.
Yeah, and you are like screaming in pain as you run through the.
Yeah, that's true.
As it sort of comes to an end, you sort of break out of the facility, don't you? And you sort of like roll down a hill and sort of end up on the beach, and then that's kind of it. It's quite a somber end, you know.
It doesn't tell you that it's the end either. It's like, well, why can't I do it?
Well, what now?
It's not like a happy ending, other than you've escaped, but you've not escaped as boy form. You've sort of destroyed the facility, and you're still in this, Well,
you can't move, so I was wondering if you've died.
I was walking around the house a bit, going, well, what have I just watched?
I know.
I don't.
But I'm interested to hear about the secret ending. Joe.
Yeah, Joe, I did not know there was a secret ending.
Right, so the secret ending links into the fact that you've been playing as the Blob all along, mind controlling
the kid,
the boy, to come in to get him free.
Cool.
To be released.
That's cool.
But if you find all the collectibles,
there's collectibles.
There's definitely. I found one.
Yeah, you pull like little power canisters out of an orb that's lit up, and then you get an achievement for it.
Any collectibles?
Yeah,
really?
None.
There's 13 of them.
I found none. I found one.
Yeah,
quite early on, and I think I found another one later on, but it didn't give me a trophy. But I did pull the thing out.
I had a delayed trophy on one of them, achievement, and it came in when I was like halfway through the orb form. But if you collect all those, there's a bit in the cornfield where you can unplug like a generator, and you open a door, and you go and unplug an even bigger thing, and then you just complete the game. So because that is like the power source to the facility where the orb is.
That's cool.
And then at that point, you just go back to being the blob.
The start of the game. Yeah.
But did you go back to being the blob? Because you said you were the blob controlling.
Well, no, once he's unplugged it.
Yeah, that kills the blob.
And then
so the blob frees itself that way, rather than escaping the facility.
Okay.
So is that like when you restart the game and you've got all the collectibles, you go there? Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. That's a cool little interesting.
Yeah, I did not know that. And do you know what? That kind of answers what the boy was doing, because I was going to ask anybody who got theories on why the boy's running.
Where was he escaping from? I feel like there's some sort of, as Ben said, concentration camp for people that are they being deemed worthy to join the orb, or
there's
just probably his kids and then mind washed.
It sounds like it looks like they would like being controlled to work. It's probably got to be some like energy company or something, and they were using people to make energy, that sort of
Damn you,
thing.
Eon!
Yeah. So that's what it looked like they were doing, and they were just sort of like mindless work. It was just a way for a corporation to probably not pay its workers.
But why were they all after the boy?
Well, because he's escaped.
Because he was free.
Yeah,
he was free.
He wasn't going to follow the same fate as the rest of them.
Yeah, and he knows.
But do the other workers that you see, like the guys with the dogs and the guys in the office, are they also mind controlled or not? Are they free?
I think they're free.
I would have said they were, maybe scientists working on the experiments or that sort of security,
Yeah.
For it. But
it's always going to take a few with a bit of mind power, isn't it, to run the facility?
This
is liked a bit more lore for this game. I want to know about the world it's in.
This is kind of one of the things I like about it, because it doesn't tell you anything. It throws you in completely unknown. It really makes your mind sort of like think, what is going on now? You can fill in some of the blanks. Like you can see that you're running away from these people. You can see that they're doing some horrible experiments, but it's sort of up to you to sort of fill in that the rest of it. And I really like that. But I also like that they can go into a bit deeper context with that secret ending.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
This was the vaults in Fallout for me. I enjoyed finding new vaults because you didn't know what on earth had gone on. Yeah. And you would just read about it as you were walking around the place of, oh my God, that was the experiment.
Glad I wasn't in that vault. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. But I get where you're coming from.
I think if we wrap it up then, if we move on to some recommendations, I'll start. I think it was pretty much perfect for everything that it was trying to achieve, which is usually the way I try to review games. Yeah. Everything it was trying to set out to do, it did pretty immaculately. I loved the world. I loved the theming. I love the fact that it was only short. Yeah. So I definitely recommend it to anyone because it's like 3 hours. And if within an hour you don't like it, then you're not going to like it for the rest of the game. So it's easy to just drop off, But
you're not going to miss anything story-wise.
Not much, yeah. But I definitely recommend everyone play through it because it is so short. That's why I sort of insistent we all finished it, because I knew it was a short game.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I thought it was really, really good. Everything it was trying to do. Yeah. What about you, Jake?
I would recommend it too. I've said this about a lot of games that we've played. Perfect palate cleanser.
Yes.
You just played 100%. A massive open world game. You don't want to go straight into another one, but you've got 3 hours one night. And you're like, yeah, I'll finish this game.
We all did it in 2 sittings, didn't we? Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did it in 2.5 because I ended up doing a lot of it one night, and then I played some more in the next morning, and then I had to do something in the day, and then I came back and finished it again. Yeah. But I'd only played like half an hour in the morning. So
yeah, fair enough.
If that. But it's really interesting, really disturbing at the same time. I do, as I said before, I do think some of the puzzles are a bit obtuse, but I enjoyed it for the most part. It's not one of my favourite games ever, but I definitely recommend playing it if you were looking for a good palate cleanser and you were scrolling through Game Pass or something and you see it pop up, give it a go. And if you played Limbo and haven't played this yet, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Play it. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. Joe?
I didn't know this was the game that I was going to be playing, like when you told me what it was. Because I had seen another game which plays sort of similarly and is a puzzle game, but it starts off with you like in our office and you're like escaping like office blocks and stuff. And like you controlled in the society that way through offices. I don't know if it's by the same guy who made this one, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is. But I know everyone's wearing like white shirts at the start, and you break through like a window.
We'll try and find what that is.
But yeah, I'm glad it wasn't that one because I played that one a little bit like ages ago. And I fell off with it, but this one it just kept me interested the whole way through. So yeah, highly recommend.
I think with the length of it, that's it. It keeps
it's perfect for a plane ride for you, bro.
Yeah,
that was a great length for it.
It doesn't add any more elements. You know what I mean? The puzzles are different as they go on, but it doesn't add any new abilities. But it doesn't need to.
You don't level up. You don't.
No. If it was 6 hours long, you probably want some new abilities as you carried on. I suppose you kind of do because you get to swim.
You get to swim indefinitely.
And stuff. But
and you get to be the blob.
You get to be the blob. But for the most part, it doesn't. It doesn't.
You don't have to put your head in one of those devices to control people as well about halfway through.
Yeah.
So you do get slowly.
And it does give you more stuff, doesn't it? Yeah.
I will quickly say as well, I hated the war. bits. Not because I hated playing the water bits.
It's the creature.
It was the creature.
The mermaid thing.
I hated that.
Oh, when you go into that room and there's like 50 of them all hanging in the ceiling, I was like, I'm doomed.
Very, very creepy, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Right, Ben. Here we go.
If it was Abe, if it wasn't the kid,
that's been the real.
I would recommend it
for you, isn't it?
It has. It just doesn't sit right with me. I like the puzzles. I liked the world. I liked most things about it. I think it was just not right being the kid.
So what you'd say to someone is how object to you seeing children die?
Yeah, that's how I'd lead.
Say, it doesn't bother me. Then
I'm just glad it's just a 2D game and they don't look like real. It's got an art style, but they don't look realistic.
Yeah.
They've got no faces and everything else. I get that.
I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No faces.
So that they could be more graphic, I guess.
I definitely get what you're saying, though, Ben. Yeah,
it just doesn't sit well with me, and I don't like the parts where it feels like a concentration camp either.
Yeah,
it just doesn't sit well with me, I'm afraid. And I had to make myself come back and play it because I was about midway was my natural stopping point, and I really had to force myself to go back on it. So that to me doesn't say like a game I could say to people go and play.
That's fair enough.
Fair dues, yeah.
So that's Inside. Three of us recommend. One of us doesn't for various reasons.
Just booed myself.
We'll have one.
All right. Till next time, guys.
Till next time.
See you later.
See you all
Bye-bye.
next time.
See ya.